Okay, Paul, if you're there, can you tell me if you can hear me? Okay, I was just going to make sure because I've gone back to this microphone 2 or 3 times and it keeps going back to mute, so I was going back one more time to look at it. Okay, great. So I am live right now and I can't tell who's in right now. Do we have anybody in the room? I'll try to back it up a little bit, see if that would help a little. Okay, I still see Not So Superwoman. Is she still there? Are you here? Okay. We've got about 3 minutes, I think. And then we'll start on planning for the year to come. Good afternoon. How are you, not Superwoman? I'd have to say that too. I am not a Superwoman. How are you this afternoon? In 3 minutes? Okay. Are you ready for the new year? Yes, we'll start in about less than 3 minutes. I'm not ready either, but I guess I'm ready for the webcast at least. But yes, we'll be doing planning in, I'd say, about 2 minutes. We'll start. It starts right at 3:30 so that we can start the recording. When is your birthday, Paul? Not Superwoman says this week is my reorganization and planning week. I'd have to say that mine too, because we're behind where I had hoped to be because of some travel and things. So I'm going to have to rethink some stuff too. Not Superwoman said we just finished rearranging our school playroom. I probably need to, but I haven't done that. We have just redone the living room, took up the carpet and stuff like that, so I don't want to redo anything else again. Got about a minute before we start, and Paul says we have a free schoolhouse planner to give away today, so be watching. Paul's birthday is the 11th. Yeah, I had kind of trying to decide what to do for today, and then it was like, well, why not start on planning, because we all have to replan anyway, so that's why I decided to do this. And I need some inspiration too, Dallin. I'm serious. I feel like I'm just so far behind. Good afternoon, Jenny, Dallin, Not Superwoman. Is that all I see? I saw something that went ahead of me. Hen and chicks. Paul Hen and Chicks wants to know if there's a way to stop the ads. Okay, it is 3:30. Paul, should I get started? Click the X at the top right to close the ad. Good afternoon, Penny. I don't know. See, I don't have any of that on my end, so maybe Paul or the other monitor can help with the ads. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to get started. I'm not sure if Paul said I could get started or not, but it's 3:30, so I'm going to get started. Today we're going to discuss planning for the coming year. I thought this week would be a great week to do this because, of course, this is the last Tuesday before the new year, so I wanted to get us started, and we're going to talk about how to get started on planning for your academics, but also I think we have to think about ourselves as well. So I'm going to talk a little bit about our spiritual lives too. And so I'm going to just jump right in. And if you have questions, I'm going to try to watch the chat, but I'm not as good at it because when I'm thinking and reading, I can't read and think and talk all. I'm kind of a one-track person. So if I don't catch your question, ask again. Give me another chance. My first step in anytime I plan or try to do anything, my first step is always to pray. So I'm going to put my steps up as we go. I'm kind of getting used to the screens and all that, so I'm going to put up my screen. So my first step is always to pray. Sometimes I try to do things myself, and it never, ever works out like I want it to. So I'm trying more and more, and I guess that's one of my resolutions for this year, is to try to let God lead me more than me lead God, because I'm real bad about trying to take control. So I usually try to start with the praying, and I pray that God will show me where my priorities need to be. I think we all tend to get our priorities mixed up sometimes, so I want the Lord to tell me, and I also ask Him to help me to listen to His voice throughout the year so that I won't miss an opportunity that He has for me. I think a lot of times in our busy lives we miss God's opportunities. We try to find our own opportunities instead of God's opportunities. So I want for God to help me to listen more closely, to that still small voice to tap me on the shoulder and say, listen to me because I have an opportunity for you. And I pray that He'll lead me in all that I do every single year. So my first step is definitely to pray. Now, one of the things that even when I'm talking about spiritual life or just about anything, my second step is to get a planner. So I'm going to show you that screen. So you get a planner, and I have a planner for my personal use, and then I also have a school planner. Now I'm going to show you the very best planner that I have ever found is this planner right here. I'm hoping you can see this. This is by Joni Eareckson Tada. It is one of the best planners that I've ever found because she is very encouraging throughout the year. And you can find this at www.joniandfriends.org. But the reason that I like this is she gives you, I'm hoping I can get it up so you can see it. She gives you a monthly planner, okay? And she gives you all the holidays that you'll want. But then she also gives you, of course, the daily things. And I'm always backwards on my pictures. But right here, nope, it's on the other side. Right here is prayer requests. So every single week you have a place for prayer requests. And I think if we will continue to pray for our fellow teachers, fellow moms, fellow everybody, that keeps us in prayer too. She also has a place for planning, and I think I got my paper clip in there. She gives you a whole month worth of planning in here. And so this is my favorite planner, and I have paper clips I was going to show you. I don't know if you can see them or not, but I have a paper clip for every month, all the way up to, I think I've gone to May. And I try to go in and I put birthdays and all those kinds of things. So my second step is to get a good planner, and this is my favorite one. And she also, of course, has other things there for sale, but also she has a wonderful site, so it would be really good to go to her site and check it out. Also, one of the first things that Johnny asks us to do on January 1st, she asks us to choose an annual verse and to memorize it. Excuse me. And so for my third step, I want to plan things for me for my verses to memorize, because I think that memorizing scripture keeps us in the will of God. So my step 3 is to plan my verses for the year, and I'm going to try to memorize one verse per month. But this is my annual verse for this year, which is Romans 15:13. May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in Him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. That's my annual verse. Now, I guess my third step, let me make sure I'm correct on my fourth step. I also feel that we should go and plan our children. They also need to have different verses and things. So my fourth step is to plan the children's verses, and this is my daughter's verse, and it's Philippians 2:14 and 15, and we consider this the Go Girl verse, because it says that we're going to be lights in the world. If you look right there, it says as lights in the world. So her verse is Philippians 2:14 and 15. So far we have we're doing memory verses for us and our children, and that's my first steps in planning, is trying to put my priorities first and to get those correct. So then the next step is where I really start my planning. So this is where I'm going to start showing you what I do to plan. Now I'm going to look at the chat real quick and see if there is any questions. Is there any questions so far? Somebody asked if there were high schoolers at home. So far I don't have a high schooler. I do have she's in 5th grade. Oh, Dallin says she has one high schooler at home. Penny has a 9th grader. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about what I do to plan. Now, usually I plan per semester. So I planned in July, and now I'm planning for the next semester. And what I'm going to do first is to look to see how many days I have left in what I want school to be. So my 5th step is to count how many days are left in the school year. And that just helps me to know where I am, how many days I have left, and what I have, the different schoolwork that I have left to do. So I'm going to count how many days I have left, and when I looked, I had around 80 days, but I did skip something. I don't know if I didn't put it in my notes or what, but I did skip one thing. Another thing that I do have to do when I get into my planner, I'm going to come back to the camera. When I do get into my planner, my husband does traveling with his job. He works for American Family Radio, and he does some traveling, and we are very fortunate to be able to travel with him. And so I do try to put certain things on my calendar ahead of time. Before I even start the planning that I was about to start talking about, I try to put any travel that's going to be done. and then holidays, of course. I try to put all that in the planner, both in this planner and in my school planner. I'm going to show you the school planner in just a minute. So I try to put that down on my calendar, and then I start counting. Now, as we travel, a lot of times we will take school with us, because we do so much traveling that there's just no way not to do homeschool on our traveling days. But we usually do only the very just the basics: math, English, writing, things like that, and we kind of leave some of the others for when we get home. So we do just the basics. Okay, now I'm going to go back. And so we look at how many days are left in the school year. And I'm going to try to tell you exactly how I do it. Now, I look at each subject and I divide how many days I have left with how much of that subject I have left. So I'm going to kind of explain that a little bit. For example, with her math and English, we use ACE PACES. Now, I don't know how many of you have done PACES before, but the reason I like PACES is because it's a small amount of information, and they're supposed to do 12 of those PACES per year. And so to me, that especially for math and English, which are our basic subjects, we really like the PACES, and I think it's a good program. When I was teaching public school, I was the math teacher, and so this, to me, the PACES program it was a really good math program. I also like Saxon, but the PACE program for me has been more. It's been easier for us to go with our travels, so that's the reason I like the PACE program. And so for the PACES, I know that she has 6 more PACES to complete this year in math and 5 more in English. And so what I've done is I've looked at that and I've divided that 88 days by the 6 more PACES. And I know that she needs to complete at least a PACE every 2 weeks. And so on my my schooling calendar, I put on there, we need to finish this PACE this day, this PACE this day, and we try to keep up with that. Like I said, we've gotten a little behind. She should have only had 5, and she has 6, but math is a little harder for her, so we go a little slower on that. And for the English, she only has 5 left, so I know that one's not going to be any trouble at all. For science, we're using a curriculum that I found online. It's called, I can't remember right now what it's called. Let me see if I can find that real quick. The science curriculum, it is a, well, I don't have the title of that, but it's a free curriculum online. If anybody would like to know that curriculum, we have really enjoyed it, and she has enjoyed it, and so I know that it has 36 chapters. Now, we have only finished 12 of those. And so I know that we're behind on the science. We started it late, so I know we're behind. So we will need to do at least 7 weeks of finish the weeks that we have to finish. We'll have to do 2 chapters a week, or we can go into the summer. And because I don't want her to miss any vital material, we probably will do the science during the summer, which that's fine. That's something that it's not a problem to do. Because we're homeschoolers, we can do things in the summer if we need to. So when you're looking at your curriculum and you're trying to divide things and look at that, you need to just see how many days you have left in what you want your school year to be, how much material you have left, and then divide that up to complete it. Okay? So is there any questions about that? Now, I haven't got, Kat says that ACE geometry is pretty hard. Now, I haven't got to the geometry because, like I said, she's just 5th grade. So far we haven't had any trouble with it. I'd have to look it up. I'm so sorry I don't have that. I didn't even think about it, Penny. Penny asked about the science curriculum. If you will email me, and I'll give you my email in just a little bit, I will send you that link. It is a free curriculum that it looks like the guy has curriculums for life science, earth science, I don't know, everything. And he's just giving this first one away. He's trying to hook you by giving you this first one away free. So he's hoping you're going to buy the other ones. So we have really liked it. It's got 36 chapters. It starts with, I can tell you a little about it because I've got my teacher's guide, but I must not have put the title. The first week is living in non-living things. Week 2 is material and non-material resources. It's just a really good curriculum. So if you will email me, I will send that to you because it is a really good curriculum. And I'm trying to find as much as I can for free because like you and everybody else, everybody's kind of hurting right now, and so I've tried to find as much of my school online as I could, and this was a really good find. And in fact, there is a website that I will also send you, and her whole purpose for her website is that you can homeschool totally free. So I'll try to send that to whoever emails me. I'll send that to you also. Now I want to show you how I do my planning. Now I showed you my personal planner, which is this, and I want to tell you this is it's $15 on the on Joni and Friends website. It's $15, but it is worth every penny. I love it, and I got Abby one also this year to get her kind of in the habit of doing some of that stuff herself. Now this is my homeschool planner, and I just got a big old 3-room binder, and what I did was I tried to find as much as I could online to do, and I found this, and anybody that wants this, I do have this listed. This is a attendance sheet. I don't know if I can get it close enough for you to read, but this is the first semester, and then this is the second semester. Hold on, let me turn the page. This is the second semester that starts in January, and it already has the dates and everything set up, and you put either present, absent, or whatever you want to, and you can add up your days. So if you are in one of those states that you have to keep up with your days, this is perfect. And this is at donnayoung.org. Who said that? Not Superwoman already loves donnayoung.org. That's where you will find this. And she has all kinds of planners. Hers is a wonderful site. I have on my, in just a minute I'm going to show you websites. This is the monthly calendar for that I usually just try to put overall goals in the monthly calendar. And then this other one is something that I made. I'm going to show you what I call my daughter's agenda. And I'm going to try to show you one that's not filled out yet. Okay, here it is. Now I did this myself because I wanted it to have her subjects. I don't know if you can see it, but it's got Monday through Friday. Okay, Monday through Friday, and then it has all the subjects on the top, and then we just write in what I want her to do every day for every subject. And now the subjects we have are Bible, Daily Grams, English. We do something called Keepers of the Faith. I don't know how many of you know that, but I have put that into her agenda for her to keep working on her pen. So we have Keepers of the Faith. We have piano, math, spelling, writing, science, history, geography, copywork, and reading. So we have a bunch. We don't do everything every day, but we have a bunch. I think it's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, there's 12 things on here, and we do about, I guess, 6 a day. We about do half one day and half another. We do math and English and spelling every day. But then the others, and this is my thing that I made myself. And so if anybody would like this as just a file, email me and I will send you, and you can actually, if I send you the file, you can put your subjects up there. So I really like that too. Is there any other questions? Let me see. Like I said, I can't keep up. Okay, my email, let me see, let me get down. Let me move my little screen. Oh, my last step. Let me show you my last step before we go any further. My last step is all these plans that I make with how many, maybe how many pages or how many paces, whatever. I put that into my school calendar. So that's my last step. I try to put that in that monthly calendar that I showed you. And just like the paces, I know that she needs to finish pace 1040. No, she's in 1050s. 1055, she needs to finish it on this date. 1056, she needs to finish that 2 weeks later. So that's my last step. Okay. Now here are the websites. I'm going to leave these up for just a minute. The planner, the personal planner that I showed you is at johnnyandfriends.org. Now the donnayoung.org is, she has just, you just need to go on there and just stay there for a while because she has so much stuff. It is amazing how much she has on there, and I love just checking it all out. She has all kinds of planning sheets. There's no way to tell you until you just see it. And then the attendance sheet is at the Donna Young, and I tried to put the whole thing because it's kind of hard to find. But if you will go to Donna Young, and then it's under forms, planners, and administrative, that's where that attendance sheet is. Okay. Now the last, here is my email. Nope. Let me go to my email, and then I was going to tell you what we're going to do for next 2 months. But let me give you my email. So here's the email. Excuse me. And then this is my blog address also. And my blog address, at my blog, I will have the script for today up this afternoon. Thumper Lynn, is that right? In case no one's mentioned it, donnayoung.com is not donnayoung.org. No, I didn't know that. I just knew it was donnayoung.org. So, according to Thumper Lynn, don't go to donnayoung.com. Make sure you are at .org. Thank you so much, Thumper Lynn. I didn't even think about that. I am sorry, my throat is itching. I don't mean to cough at you. Okay, so if you would like and make sure you tell me exactly. I know I'm sending out the science curriculum link, and then the other link that has all of the free homeschool stuff. I'll also. My little thing says I have lost internet. Are y'all still? Nope. I'm gone. What can I do? Okay, I'm hoping I'm back. Am I back? Because I don't know where I went. Okay. Oh, great. It's still saying I'm not here. Guys, can y'all see me? Okay. I don't know where I went. I went somewhere. I saw it when it went off. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm going to go real quick before I might lose more internet. Hold on just a second, and I'm going to take you to the sheet that shows you what I'm going to be doing this year. Okay? First, this next Tuesday, which is January the 3rd, we will be doing geography, and this is a curriculum that I actually wrote myself. And my daughter has really enjoyed doing it, and so I will have that and show that to you this next Tuesday, which is January 3rd. Then January 10th, I was thinking the other day about the lap books and how much I enjoy doing lap books, and then all of a sudden I remembered I have not shown on my webcast how to do double lap books. And so I'm going to show how to do a double lap book, and I had mentioned a couple of days ago or weeks ago that I had found a website with lap books as gifts, and so I'm going to show you the lap book as gifts as part of it. And then January 17th, we're going to do notebooking, notebooking 101, and I have really enjoyed a website that I found, and I'm just reading it. I'm starting from the very first when she first started her blog, and I'm reading all the way through it because I just love the idea of notebooking. So I've been reading that. January 24th, we're going to do reading strategies. When I was in public school, the school that I was at for 3 or 4 years, we had a reading grant, and I learned more than I ever wanted to know about reading strategies, so I want to pass some of that on. And on January 31st, I'm going to do math tips and answers, and the reason I put it like that is I want you to ask me questions. What questions do you have about teaching math? So I do need you to email me questions by the 31st about math, teaching math, because that seems to be a lot of people, a lot of homeschoolers seem to have trouble with teaching math. And so since that's supposedly my expertise, I want to be able to do a webcast about math. So send me questions about math to my email address. And then we're going to do famous artists, famous artists, and we're going to do a lap book or a notebook. I'm probably going to show both ways to do that because one of my first webcasts, someone asked me to do a webcast on famous artists. And so I'm going to do a lap book / notebook on famous artists. On February 14th, I was trying to find a fun project that we could bring the kids in on. And so we're going to make an edible earth. And it's going to be the earth, and then we can cut it and see the layers. And I've done this with just about every class that I have ever had in public school that I taught science. Because they loved it so much. And so we are going to do how to make the edible earth. Just remember, well, one thing I would caution you is to make sure that you have like the little gloves, food gloves. They're not very expensive, but you want the food gloves because it gets messy. On February 21st, there will be no webcast. I will be out of town. I thought about trying to do it while I was out of town, but I decided that maybe I should wait on that because it would be a lot harder to try to do it while I'm in Nashville, so I'm not going to do it on that day. So there will be no webcast on the 21st. On the 28th, we'll be doing reading response activities, and that's going to be a continuation of the January 24th reading strategies. It's just going to be one more thing that about reading. I have 2 or 3 books about different ways for children to think about what they're reading, and on the 28th, February 28th, I'm going to give you some really fun things that your children can do that has to do with reading. So that one is going to be a lot of fun too. I'll try to have another list for like the next 2 months, which will be March and April. Maybe I'll try to do March, April, and May. Sometime by the end of February. Okay? And Rosehaven was telling about homeschoolshare.com. It is probably the best place that you can find lap booking material. I am going to put my email up one more time. The Homeschool Share website is the place that I have found all of my mini books that you put in the lap books. That is where I have found all of those mini books, and they're blank, but you put whatever material you want in them. And so that to me is the best website, is Homeschool Share. It really is a good website. Erin is saying lapbooklessons.com. I've been there. I found some stuff there, but I guess my favorite is still homeschoolshare.com. Okay, is there any other questions? I hope everybody got the email and stuff. Is there any more questions? And like I said, please, please, please send me the questions for the math lesson. I've already forgotten the date. See, I'm not very good at this. I can't remember dates or anything. The math lesson is on January 31st. I would really like to have questions for that one. I will be giving a couple of tips that I have found. One, the kids always, when I taught it, they remembered it from then on, and that is the formula for finding the circumference. I think that's right, of a circle. And whenever you can find things that they will remember, then it's a really good thing to be able to do that. And so I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the trick with nines for multiplication. So I do have a couple of things planned, but I really, really would like your questions. So if you have questions, please send those to me. Paul is having a webcast tomorrow at 3:30 about what is going on, what's going to be coming in 2012 for the homeschool channel. So you really want to come and look at that webcast tomorrow at 3:30, because he's going to be telling us what's going to be happening all through the year of 2012. And I think our time's up. Thank y'all so much for coming today. I hope you enjoyed it. Email me with your questions for the math lesson, and then I'll send out whoever needs those 2 links that I had. Thanks so much. I'll see y'all next week. Bye.